To you here on Instagram. I hope that you are well. I hope that you had an amazing weekend. It is Monday, the 28th of October. It is Monday. That means it's Mindset Mastery Monday time. Hey, sold by Mark. Great to have you here. Susan, good to see you, my love. Thanks for tuning in. Mindset Mastery Monday. Hey, Jackie, great to have you here, my love, is where I come on live on Facebook and Instagram to provide free peak performance coaching for those that are interested in living an extraordinary life. Good morning, Rod. Good morning, Brendan. Hi, great to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Still can't see who's live on Facebook, but I'm going to say g'day to Greg because I'm expecting him to be there. Erin, g'day. First of all, I just want to say morning, Kate. Great to have you here. Look at you riding in Brisbane. How was that, my love? 29 Ks, extraordinary effort. I want to just start by saying thank you so much to all of you that reached out in the last couple of days and extended your love and condolences because I had the sudden loss of my dear father-in-law who's been in my life for 20 years. He did die peacefully. Hey, Jasmine, he did die peacefully, which was great. But nonetheless, death is a challenging thing, and it elicited a whole bunch of emotion for me. So having your love, having your, hey Amy, your support and your encouragement and your kind words really provided a raft for me over the last couple of days. And it really had me think about, as I was thinking over the weekend around a topic for Mindset Mastery Monday. Also, I didn't do Rapid Fire Friday. Obviously, he had just passed away on the Thursday, and I was holding my family. We were all deeply grieving, and sad time. I'm still quite sad. So I'm generating on top of really raw emotion. Have you ever needed to do that? Have you ever had to show up for work, show up for others, show up for your family members when you're really percolating in a lot of emotion? So that's the, hey Tash, that's me right now. I'm right there, but I'm here, and I'm committed to being here because I was thinking about a topic for Mindset Mastery Monday. Hey, Amy, yeah, like we have to do it sometimes. We have to rock up. Yes, thanks, Tash. Hey, Steve, great to have you here, my friend. Here's the thing that I saw for myself, right, in full transparency and full honesty in service of you, and hopefully you hear something for yourself, or you can tag a friend that's going through something. This Mindset Mastery Monday is for those of you who ever find yourself feeling anxious, worried, like stressed, suffering, struggling, or even beating yourself up a little bit. And stuff happens, right? Life happens, stuff happens, shit happens. Here's the difference though. We can be thinking and feeling and believing that life is happening to us, like it's happening to us and we are at the effect of life, which gives us a very disempowered experience of life in the world because we become a victim of circumstances and don't relate like we have the ability to show up any differently other than suffering and struggle. Or we can have the perception that life is happening to us, even the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's what happened for me over the weekend. In deep grief, losing a father-in-law, losing a mate, losing someone that I was very close with, it elicited a lot of also grief and sediment, having completed a 20-year marriage 4 months ago. So I've been married for 20 years. My husband and I decided to complete our marriage because we just weren't growing in the same directions. There was no argy-bargy. It was completely mutual and amicable, but still heartbreaking. And now over the weekend, I noticed, hey, Amy, and I want you to listen to this for yourself. Like, have you ever had situations for yourself where your emotions are really getting the better of you and you're not seeing a light at the end of a tunnel? I went there this weekend. So I'd lost my father-in-law. We had obviously been spending time as a close family for the first time in 4 months. And we were looking at photos, and I'm seeing photos of, my husband and I and our kids when we were young. And I started asking myself, what happened and what if, and what could we have done, and what could I have done, and what could I have done better, and it's my fault. And I started going in a spiral. Does this make sense? Have you ever been there? Something happens, shit happens, and you start thinking, what if we could have done this? What if I had have done this? I could have done this. I could have done this. And I started going down in a spiral, feeling really crap. And then I noticed I started to lack faith that the future, thanks Amy, hey Amanda, Amanda Moo, that the future would be any greater, that the future would be any brighter. And I'm in the emotion, and I'm observing this going, wow, I'm starting to really spiral into, well, that's it. The best of my life has happened, and now I'm just going to be existing. Now, this happens to people on a daily basis, and unfortunately, they don't have the observer awareness to witness they're in it, and they just stay in it. And then they get trapped in the victim mentality full of disempowered emotion, wondering what could have been, what others could have done more, what they could have done more, and really beating themselves up. Have you been there? Do you know what I'm talking about? And does this relate? G'day, Emily, and also good morning. Who's that here? Paul. I don't know if it's Paulie D. Paulie D? Paulie D, is that right? Here's what I did. I observed it, and I noticed it, and I knew if I went down that worry train, that anxious train, that suffering train, that beat myself up train, that life, yes, many times, thanks Stephen, you know, this is kind of where we get straight with ourselves. I don't want to come on Mindset Mastery Monday and give you 10 tips for living a successful life. I want to come to you and be real about, hey guys, this happened in my life. This is what I observed. Now, am I a peak performance coach? Yes. Am I a guru of lack of suffering, and do I never lose my shit and get upset? No, like I do. But do I have the tools to get off stuff really quickly and not suffer? You bet. And that's why I'm coming to you real and raw, on top of, you know, could potentially cry right now, to be of service, to say that it is possible to rise above the negativity of life and stuff that happens for us, not to us. And that's the first thing. We have to shift our perception. It's real, raw, and honest. Thank you. You're welcome. G'day, James. Great to have you here as well, my friend. This is like where we share life in its real, raw, and honest forms, not 10 tips to live a successful life, right? That's not how I roll. So I noticed myself going into this, thanks, James, this like emotional pit. And I saw myself from above, as I said before. And I just started to ask, well, I just interrupted the pattern, and that's what you have to do as a human being, where life is going to happen at you, shit's going to happen, breakdowns are going to occur, people are going to die, relationships are going to end, you're going to fail, you know, you're going to break up with friends, you're not going to hit that expectation, you won't make budget, you won't get that listing. Like, shit is happening to us. But the first distinction is, I'd like you to consider that life is not happening to you, and you are not a victim of circumstances. Life is happening for you. And if we can ask what's the lesson and what's the blessing, it'll give us greater access, A, to transform. B, here's what I did that really served me, because I was getting in a funk this weekend. I was allowing myself to grieve too. As a peak performance coach, my favorite saying is, this too shall pass, good or bad. Oh, 100%, Emily. You know, you have to honor your feelings first. I don't believe in operating on top of feelings, even though I'm generating myself today in the space of grieving. You need to grieve. You need to move the emotion, because emotion is just energy in motion. It's just emotion and moving through your body and system. Too many people suppress their emotion. They swallow their experiences. They don't communicate. They don't share. That's where dis-ease kicks in. That's where disease kicks in, for sure. Stress, anxiety, worry elevates cortisol, which is the stress hormone, which puts us in fight, flee, or freeze, which has us in a constant state of stress, and our body's not meant to stay there. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to share with you is, when I noticed I was going through a bit of a suffering spiral, I interrupted the pattern by asking, what if? What if the best of my life was yet to come? What if there was ecstatic bliss available for me? What if the best, experiences with my family, the most exquisite relationship, the most fun and outrageous global adventures, the best work, fulfilling, soulful, on purpose opportunities came? What if? So rather than ask, why me, and what should I have done, and what could I have done, and go down that suffering train, I invite you to go down the worry train, wonder train. Not the worry train, the wonder train. Start wondering what if. Start asking yourself questions about what if this could happen, and then start connecting to what would you love. Does this make sense? What can you hear for yourself? Hey, the holistic home, great to have you here. I'm sorry I can't see who is currently here on Facebook again. But I know that you're there, and I will reply after this. G'day, Michelle. So have you ever done that for yourself? Have you ever noticed you're headed down a spiral of worry? Hey, Manzoor, great to have you here as well. Have you ever noticed yourself going down a worry pit, a cycle of concern, and not feeling that there's a light at the end of the tunnel? And what got you out? What was the raft? How did you rise above? I know for me, as I said, this weekend when I noticed it happening, when I was in the depths of it, I just interrupted the pattern and started to wonder, what if? What if the best is yet to come? What if that's off the charts on every level is around the corner? What if my desires and life purpose and all the visions, dreams and hopes that I focus on are waiting to greet and meet me? When we start asking better quality questions, we start getting better quality answers. We start getting better quality access to take more empowered action rather than hang out in the pit of suffering. So it's a really brief one today. I just wanted to reflect to you. If you're ever feeling anxious, worried, concerned, I help my mind think about something else. Good on you, Erin. Erin's getting this for sure. We have to be the conductor of our thoughts. We are the ones that are creating the orchestra and the symphony that is a masterpiece or a hot mess. And when you feel like you're a hot mess, you know your conductor has got all the instruments out of tune and out of whack. Our job is to become the conductor of our brain circuitry and start creating a symphony of the soul, something that's going to have us rise and shine even in the face of grief, and start to believe that there is a brighter future, that there is something possible, and stand in that. Because the law of attraction is an energy game. It's your frequency that attracts your future and your fortune. And if we are stuck in suffering, if we are stuck in silence and grief and worry and despair and beating ourselves up and cracking the whip, we're not going to attract that which our heart desires. We're going to attract more suffering and anxiety and worry and despair. Make sense? I know you guys know this, but sometimes we need a reminder. Hey, Julie Anderson, how are you, my love? So today, if you are feeling anxious, worried, concerned, stressed, getting yourself up, I invite you to put down the whip, as I say, start waving the wand. Don't see life as happening to you, see life as happening for you. And start asking, start wondering, what if? What if the best was yet to come? What if magic was just around the corner? What if everything that your soul desires was ready to greet and meet you? And rather than get stuck into faith, start standing in love. Rather than get stuck, in worry and fear, start standing in love and faith. And that's what was missing for me. Over the weekend when I was sitting in deep grief, I lost faith. I lost faith that magic awaits and that my best life awaits. So that's what I created over the weekend. Doesn't mean I'm not still hurting. Doesn't mean I'm not still grieving. Doesn't mean I won't keep experiencing emotion. It just means what into my consciousness is a higher quality thought of love and faith for the future that awaits. And I really, really, really wanted to send this message to you. The other thing that you can do to shift your state is be in service of others. Yesterday, I went, even though I felt like crap, I dropped my eldest daughter off to a workshop. I went and bought a big roast lamb and a whole stack of veggies and apple pie and double cream. And I went to my girlfriend's and I cooked up a roast for her family. because she's just had some significant major surgery and has a brain tumor and has that to be operated on potentially in 3 weeks. And I just wanted to love her up a little. So when you feel like shit, if you can't catch the faith train, you want to shift your state, get in service of others. Go out there and do something kind and nice for other people and watch what happens to your state. There's someone worse off than us. I'm not saying we push our feelings aside, but I am saying we need to be the conductor of our soul symphony. We need to focus on the things that are going to fuel us inside of what if your best life was yet to come. And I believe we have to stand in the faith that there is some magic around the corner. There's a miracle that awaits. Put yourself in that frequency. Keep showing up. Keep taking one step in front of the other. Keep being of service. And who knows what's possible. That's my little share for today, guys. I really, really hope that you have an amazing week. I hope that you follow your heart and you allow yourself to honor any feelings that are there, but do not have an itty bitty shitty committee party in your head and give up on the magnificence of you. Interrupt the pattern pretty quickly, which is possible, by asking, what is there to learn? What is the blessing? And what if my best life was yet to come? And then start taking action that is consistent with wonder and faith and love, rather than worry, fear, and sorrow. I hope that's of service. Hey, Amy Gray. Hey, Michael, nice to see you here, my friend. Thank you for your kind thoughts over the weekend. So I am ready to create an amazing week. For those of you who have just joined, please feel free to watch the record. Share with me. Just type in both on Facebook and on Instagram. What did you hear for yourself this morning? What did you hear that was a nice and a good reminder for your soul to keep going? What did you hear for yourself? Remember, as you're typing that in, if you're not driving, Mindset Mastery, it's all for you. It's where I come on and either share a distinction to help you master your frame of mind so you can create a life that you love, or you can ask me a question. You can ask me live here on Facebook or Instagram at the moment, because I can't see the comments on Facebook yet because they're not loading, or you can DM me or you can email me, and it's completely confidential. I will never say your name or where you're from, but I'll answer it to the best of my ability or research and answer. And then, of course, for those who aren't the regulars, Rapid Fire Fridays, where I jump on 8 o'clock. Hey, Melba 74. I jump on 8 o'clock Friday afternoons to just reflect on the key coaching themes for the week and share my rapid fire tips to give you a raft to achieve greater results for yourself. Now, we are in the thick of spring, certainly here in Australia, and real estate has definitely turned a corner. There is a lot of great activity happening. This means there are a lot of people out there changing their lives and making decisions for their futures. Remember, do not be transactional, be relational. That's why this content is useful too, because people buy people, not products. They buy your energy, they buy your state. And if you are traveling around the suffering, channel and not on the, faith train, people are going to feel where you're at, and they may not want to connect or do business with you. Now, honor your emotions, honor what happens in life. Don't suffer in silence or alone, but be the conductor of your soulful symphony. Start asking what if and wonder what's possible, and have faith that the best future is waiting you. You just need to show up authentically, you, willing to take action, willing to ask for help, and willing to be of service to yourself first and then others. I love you. I love that you chose to drop in and spend some time with me today. Hey, Ruby, I hope you have an incredible week. Be kind to yourself and others. And in the late great words of Maya Angelou, remember, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Do something to make yourself and others feel amazing today. Thank you for making me feel amazing with all your love and condolences over the weekend. It really, really does mean a lot. We're going to say our goodbyes and pay tribute to Jonesy tonight in a family service, and then send him off in a couple of weeks when family comes back from overseas. So much love to you. Go well. Mwah. Have a beautiful week, guys. Take care. Goodbye to our friends on Instagram, and ciao to you, our friends on Facebook. See ya. Have a beautiful week.